Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Ben. I leave for basic training in 2 weeks, and I've been documenting my journey, my process about getting ready for it, and shooting some videos about working out, and mainly just talking about what it's like living right before, during the last couple days of freedom. So today I strapped on a 20-pound weight vest and a backpack full of books, and I went walking for, I think it ended up being 4.5 miles or so. Really didn't have the desired effect. I really didn't feel like it did a whole lot for me. Definitely made my shoulders sore, which is a great thing because that's one of the biggest things I'm sure about having a heavy backpack is the chafing and the soreness that goes in your shoulders and neck. And that was really the only thing. It really wasn't that big of a challenge. Was not a lot of weight, and didn't really feel like it did a whole lot. So that was kind of a failed experiment, but I'm still doing push-ups and sit-ups every night, and then hitting the gym, getting the Olympic lifts in, bench press, squat, deadlift, and mainly for me, I've been doing low reps, high weight on bench press, trying to supplement my push-ups and sit-ups and just continue to build my strength in my chest area. And then squats, I'm really trying to focus on form and very low weights, and trying to make sure that I'm hitting depth and getting as much flexibility as I can before basic. And that helps a lot because I'm also running a lot, so I don't have as much soreness and everything. So that's just my personal thing. And then the deadlifts, going as hard and as heavy as I can while keeping keeping basically as good form as I can. Even though I'm using a straight bar instead of a hex bar, that's in preparation for the ACFT. So before I leave, I'll shoot a video showing how I'm progressing in the deadlift and squat and bench press. And even though those don't really mean anything once you get to basic, it's still going to be good to kind of see where I'm at compared to where I will be at afterwards. And I'm sure my calisthenics will be way up afterwards, and my weights will probably go way down. My ability and my numbers on the weights will go way down. So in the meantime, I've been reading a lot of books, trying to develop myself mentally, and kind of give myself some mental fuel to burn and think about while I'm at basic. I've been reading Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. That's been a great book for me thus far. I really think that it helps so much. His ethos is incredibly strong because of his background. He's not some kind of one of those self-proclaimed gurus who you sit around and ask, how many tough things have happened in your life, which lots of people could, ask that about anybody. Jocko Willink has been in a lot of tough situations. If you don't know who he is, you can look him up and definitely check out that book. I really like listening to Jocko. I think he's pretty down to earth. The book is super easy to read, and it was a great day outside, so I just read it outside. A lot of takeaways from that book. I love how it said there are no bad teams, only bad leaders. The whole theme of the book is take ownership of everything if you're a leader, and that really hit home to me because it's something that I really fail at. It's really easy to make mistakes in your the mental game that you play with yourself. Get out of college, move back in with your parents, or move into your own apartment and whatever, and it gets really easy to play the blame game if you're not exactly where you think you should be. It's so easy to blame other people, blame your circumstances, blame everything, and that's what I found myself doing. I see other people doing it at my age, and it's really something that is almost definitely not going to bring you success, and it's not going to bring you happiness. And one big area I see that in college students and anybody in that age range, or even adults, full adults, and people in their 40s and 50s and stuff, I see that thing that we all learn really quick in college, that I had to have it explained to me what it was in college, and that's FOMO. And that's that sinking feeling that you're missing out on everything, that other people are getting something that you feel like you deserve, but you are not able to achieve because of finances, because of time restraints, because of family ties that you cannot go outside. I felt that a lot. I remember several nights where during my senior year, but during my sophomore year, where I would get on social media and look at things, look at people go out and doing all the stuff that I wanted to do. And I'd be working. I'd have nights where I would work and other friends would come in, see me at work. I'd shake hands and be like, hey, have fun. I'll be here till late tonight. And then I would be going and doing homework till 11:30 or 12 and then get up and do it all again tomorrow. That's just a sacrifice you pay if you want to, especially go to college. I mean, it's a huge sacrifice for everybody. Everybody works. Everybody's doing the same stuff. It's going to stink for everybody. Everybody's going to have to give up things. It's especially in college, though, because college is where a lot of people who have resources, have access to resources, their life is markedly different from people who don't have resources. Your summers look different. Kids get off and they get to go and do all kinds of crazy stuff, which I was lucky. I was one of those kids. I mean, I got some great things. My college was really good to me. Sent me on some really cool trips. And got to go on some really cool trips while a lot of people sat there and worked all summer. And I also worked, but I also had some great opportunities too. But just that FOMO of looking at other people saying, posting on Instagram, posting on Facebook, and you feel this hollow feeling that you're falling behind in life. Really, I saw a video of this guy doing running this weekend, and he was talking about how his running transformation over 8 weeks. And he started at a 7:38 and he worked all the way for 8 weeks and got down to a 6:38 mile. And he seemed really disappointed about that. He thought he was going to have this great mile time, like he was going to get down to a 5-minute mile or something. And someone who runs consistently or is very talented or has a great natural endurance or something may look at that and say, okay, 7:38, 6:38, that's not good. Someone else may say, hey, that's great. You made a minute improvement. A lot of that stuff is just relative. It really doesn't matter. For him to make a minute improvement is awesome. It's not about what everybody else does or what everybody else thinks. Because for some people, that would be a really, really mediocre mile time. For other people, that would be a great mile time. But it's the improvement. It's the improvement of his life that mattered. And when you're out there working, when you're going to college, doing all that stuff, doing what you got to do, getting the piece of paper, doing all the things that you need to do to get ahead, and you don't feel like it, it really doesn't matter. You're not on some giant scoreboard with everyone else in the universe, and however many trips you take or how many photos you take or how many relationships or whatever you have, it's not on some giant scoreboard. You're living your life. And it's yours, so own it. So do the things you want to do to succeed. There are objective things that you need to do to succeed, such as try and read, try and gain understanding of the way the world works, try to gain relationships and stuff like that, meaningful relationships, gain accountability, try to be healthy. Those things are general, but it means different things to different people. So in the long run, it's your life. Go out there and live it. And I'm not a great example of that. Obviously, I've looked around and saw other people. While I was working, I've worked consistently since I was 16 years old, worked all the way through college, had times where I worked full-time through college, and had times where I got jealous. And the truth is that jealous of what? Jealous of what? Jealous of somebody else? That makes no sense. Jealous of someone who gets a different life than me, when in reality, my life is pretty darn good. I live in America. I'm very blessed. And all that work and stuff, that's what you really remember. I mean, who has a better story? Someone who works and has all these funny work stories, or someone who sits around and talks about whatever, their frat party they went to? It's completely unrelatable. Everyone knows what it's like to work who makes it, but not everyone can relate to someone who went to the Bahamas. You know what people say when someone says about how great of a cruise they went on? A lot of the time, and there's nothing wrong with it, but a lot of the time, you know what you say? You say, oh, that's nice. That sounds really fun. Your photos looked really nice. I can't relate, but I can relate to someone who works 55 hours and talks about how hard it is to see their kids. I mean, it's not one way is right and one way is wrong, but there's a trade-off, and the trade-off with an easy life is that misery makes for the best stories. And even if you're not miserable, if you're in a position that's tough, you're still going to have better stories than someone who lives a nice, cushy lifestyle. And it's going to have more substance and mean a lot more. So don't ever get discouraged. Don't fall into that FOMO trap. It's really big in the college years, but I don't think it should be. I think it's a great time to realize that it's your life. It's not a giant, you're not on a giant scoreboard versus the world. There is no scoreboard. Whether you run a 7:38 or a 6:38, or you're one of those freak guys who runs a 5:30 or a 4:30, it doesn't matter. Life is not a competition. It's a journey, everyone's journey. So get out there, work hard, and enjoy the life that you have. And understand that every day it goes by makes it a little closer towards the end of it. So grab onto it, hold on, have fun while you can. Alright guys, well, I'll see you sometime soon. Good luck, and stay positive.